So the Delhi sports officer gave an idea. Okay, let's not fight. Let's do one thing. Let's announce joint winners. Let sport be the winner. And Kharagpur were like, we are okay. We are winning GC, somehow we are okay. I went and that time it kind of got to me. I lost my shit and I told him, if you're going to announce joint winners, then not even a single person from IIT Madras will attend this closing ceremony. We are boycotting it. The story starts about 2.5 months back, where we had a captain's meeting in Himalaya lawn, where all the captains, we came to one conclusion, that the previous year our sports secretary Rudra was coming from an army background, made us march so much that we hated march past, and every one of us decided that we'll march less during our main camp. So that was the main conclusion of that meeting. The significance of this meeting will come later. So after that, I became ISS 2 months, just 2 months before the inter-IIT, and everything was going smooth. Practice was going well. All teams preparing really well. And November 24th, our NSEMs ended and our main camp started. So there's this 10 to 15 day period before the inter-IIT and after NSEMs, where all contingent people practice really hard. We do only sport because we don't have any classes. But this year what happened was, there was heavy rains in Chennai, and the first 10 days was literally washed out. None of the outdoor sports could practice, so most of us just did fitness in Vatsa. And some of us even, we went to indoor places outside and we tried to get ourselves ready. But it was a very difficult time. And we were just thinking, when the rains were going to go away, about December 2nd or something like that, cyclone Mishong hit, and people were not even able to come out of their rooms. And 2-3 days we were literally, there wasn't electricity, there was less food available, and people had to do come to our hostels and give food. Even commute was a problem. So sport was probably the last thing that we were thinking. The only aim for us was to make sure that our contingent reaches to Bombay and Gandhinagar in time. And this year, Bombay, the inter-IIT was preponed a bit because of Mood Indigo, Bombay being Bombay. So all trains were cancelled and we were really struggling even to get our jerseys. So finally, the cyclone got done, and we were hoping that the trains or anything won't get cancelled. But on the day in which the Bombay contingent had to leave Chennai, I received a call on 5:30 a.m. I was sleeping, and there's this person, Raju sir, he's our sports officer. He calls me and he tells me, come to Gymkhana, 5:30 a.m. Our train is cancelled. We'll have to figure out a way to make sure our contingent reaches to Bombay in time. So I go to Gymkhana. I didn't know what to do. I just call up all the captains who are supposed to go to Bombay and tell them, the train is cancelled. We are looking for alternate measures. Then we somehow found out that the same train is starting from a place called Tirutani, which is 5 hours away from Chennai. And we'll have to book some buses so that our contingent goes from Chennai to Tirutani and boards the train there. So I called up all the captains again and told them, the train was supposed to leave at 3:30 p.m. from Chennai, but it was leaving at the similar time from Tirutani. And it was a lot of chaos. I remember that day I was running from mess, Gymkhana, hostels to make sure, we arrange buses and food for the people and they go to Bombay on time. And the most interesting thing was, we were even going without jerseys, because jerseys had to come from Delhi. Just imagine a team going to an event like inter-IIT without even jerseys. And the jerseys, we made sure that it will be delivered in Bombay directly, and some of the Bombay contingent reached Bombay. In Bombay, we came third in March past. So, so basically, every year before InterIIT, the first event is the inauguration ceremony, and there is points awarded to the top three who come in March past. So every IIT marches, and the best marches are awarded. That's the reason why we also practice. This year, since because of rains and also because all the captains collectively decided we'll not spend time on March past, there was about, I think, one session for the Bombay contingent and 2 sessions for the Gandhinagar contingent. So with just 1 session of practice, we still got third. After that, the first 3 days of Bombay, we won everything. All the sports. Not even a single game we had lost. So I was really happy because we had gone underprepared and everyone wrote us off. I mean, I remember talking during the main camp to one of our senior most contingent people, and he was like, bro, I was thinking we'll at least finish in the top 4, but with this preparation, I don't know, probably we'll go out of top 6. And after 3 days, I remember texting Rudra saying, bro, we are winning everything, looks like it's going great. And he's like, bro, please wait. This is how every year starts. But, in the quarterfinals and the semifinals and the finals is where all of us come. And we still, on the day which quarterfinals all happened, we still won some, lost some. We came 4th in weightlifting. And I think this has to be the most historic day in the history of IITM sports. I remember the date, I think it's December 15th. So the Gandhinagar contingent, we reached Gandhinagar, but in Bombay, it was the day where all the finals and third place matches were happening. And our contingent were in 4 finals and 3 third place matches out of total of 10 sports. And law of averages, I was hoping we'll win 2, we'll lose 2 finals, and we'll at least, win 1 bronze medal out of the 3. But the day started, we won TT gold men, we won TT gold women, then hockey bronze. Then in the afternoon, I remember we were eating in Gandhinagar mess. Madras contingent is in one table, Bombay contingent in other, and in YouTube, Madras versus Bombay girls finals is streaming, and the game is going up and down every point. Think 31, 33. Then we take a lead, they take a lead, and it's like incredible, like adrenaline rush. And every time someone gets a point, the people from the contingent are shouting. It's like literal fan war happening. And in the end, I think in the last minute, our girls won, and I remember all of our contingent doing drum rolls with the plates, so like riling up Bombay contingent, and like the war started then only. But we won everything. We won 4 golds and 3 bronzes on that day. We did not lose a single. And at the end of Bombay leg, we were with 66 points in the first place, and the second place was Bombay themselves. If you know, you know. They got 44 points. So we had an incredible lead. The sports in Gandhinagar also started. So it went well. Most of our teams reached the quarters and semis. And there were some very memorable games. I think the tennis semi-final, it went on for 9 hours. But we beat Delhi and we went to the final and got a silver medal. That was a very memorable game. Then for cricket, this was like the most memorable game for me also. It was actually, we were playing Gandhinagar, the hosts, in quarterfinal. I remember the date as well, December 19th it was, because exactly 1 year ago, December 19th, 2022, we played the quarterfinal against Roorkee, in Roorkee, the hosts then. And so I tore my ACL, it's a ligament in the knee. And we played, but we got the game till 18th over, but we lost. And I remember the whole train journey, it was literally, not a very pleasant one. So, and I was out, I had to undergo surgery, out of sport for 10 months, had to do rehab, and till InterIIT, I had not given 100% because I wanted to, be fit for InterIIT. And I got a 50 in the game. We scored around 138. And the game was again very close, up and down, up and down. But the highlight was the crowd. I have never played in a more electric atmosphere. There were about 300, 400 people just, outside the boundary line. Gandhinagar peeps, there's profs, there were even cleaners who were cleaning our hostels, shouting from the boundary line, supporting Gandhinagar. And I remember fielding in the boundary line, they were hurling abuses and everything. I didn't understand half of it because it was Hindi. But yeah, it was just that the game was so intense and it went till the last over, 1 over 10 to win. And there was two options. Either I bowl the last over, I'm a part-time bowler, and one of our most experienced death bowlers, Shubham. So either of us had to bowl. So I looked at our coach and he pointed towards me because I was having a good day. And I bowled, and the first four balls, when I just gave 4 runs, there was one very good run out. Rohan, our vice captain, made an amazing run out. And 1 ball 6 to win. It went till 1 ball 6 to win. And the final ball, it edged and it went to the boundary. But the thing was, I was so much into the game that the first instant I felt like, oh, I have given a boundary. And it took me some time to realize that we've won the game because it was 1 ball 6 and we won the game by 1 run. And our whole contingent came in. Our whole contingent came in running, and we celebrated, and that was one of my most memorable games. So after our Bombay performance, I was added into this group of elite people called Possible Celebration. So this was a group which consisted of all the sports secretaries, from 2016, 17, and very notable sports alumni. So the group name was Possible Celebrations because there was a high possibility we'll win the general championship. And there were so many people in there doing the math, saying, if this game we win this game we win this, we'll win, we'll not win, and stuff like that. But so it was decided, like they announced that if we win the football bronze medal against Kharagpur, we'll win the general championship. And so we did not tell the football team because we did not want them to feel the pressure, but everyone in the contingent knew. And we were all there, cheering for our team. And we were leading 1-0 till I think the final minute, and one of our players put an own goal. It went to extra time, then it went to penalties. And it was like, because KGP also knew that, they'll have to fight hard, or else they're losing the GC. So KGP full crowd was there, and I think no one wanted Madras to win because out of 56 inter-IITs, we won 24. So most of the other IITs hate us, and yeah. So I think almost all the other IITs were cheering for KGP, but then I think the penalties were also quite equal, and the last two penalties KGP had to miss it. So we started off with this slogan, miss karega, KGP miss karega. And I think it worked because the two people hit way above the post, and we won, and all of our football players took off their shirts, and we were also celebrating. I remember throwing my chappal away, running in and hugging Dhruv, the captain, and just shouting. And it was, we had thought we have won the GC, and the group called Possible Celebration changed into Confirmed Celebration. So, little we did know that we had celebrated prematurely, because the next day we came to know that squash women's, so for every event to be added to the overall general championship points system, you need 3 years of the event to happen, and this was the third year squash women's was happening. And it was not supposed to be considered in the points. That's what everyone thought. But somehow the next day we got to know that squash women's was also being considered, and there was some document it was not even in the rule book, it was in the minutes of the meeting of some meeting which happened like 6-7 months back. That also, it had contradictory statements saying it will be included, it will also not be included, and they managed that the previous one was the previous version and the below one was the updated version. So it made no sense, but in the end Gandhinagar had made up their mind and we couldn't do much. We went and fought, but still what happened was, now we were tied with Kharagpur. Now comes the March past points. So since we were tied with Kharagpur, now it all mattered was who got more points in the March past. And this March past, since it happens in two places, Bombay and Gandhinagar, it will be averaged. It will be the average of Bombay and Gandhinagar points. And in Bombay, we had won third place, and in Gandhinagar, we didn't win anything. But as an average, we had 8.5, they had 8.25. So we were still leading, and we had won the general championship by 0.25 points. This was like 2 hours before the closing ceremony. This announcement came, and yeah, we were all absolutely excited for the closing ceremony, winning the general championship after 12 years. About 100 meters away from the podium, there was some other people meeting, like the Gandhinagar Sports Sec, the Kharagpur Sports Secs, and there was Delhi sports officers, and some discussion was going on. So our contingent people were like, what's happening? Like, you already we were pissed with this squash women's thing. So I went there, and then what happened was, so that according to the rule book, there's a certain criteria in which you will have to measure and evaluate March past. But Gandhinagar, since they hosted the inter-IIT for the first time, they had followed their own system, which Kharagpur had found out, and they were saying this is against the rule book, so March past points should be not considered, and it will be a tie then if March past is not considered, and Kharagpur had more gold medals than us, so they'll be winning the general championship. So Kharagpur was fighting for that, typical Kharagpur. So I went and I told this cannot happen, and a lot of discussions were happening, heated arguments, and they called in for an emergency board meeting, and this had no chairs, nothing. This was happening in the athletic track, about 100 meters, not even 100 meters, 50 meters away from the podium. And there was literally all sports officers of all IITs and sports secretary of IIT Madras, me, and Kharagpur sports secretary and Gandhinagar sports secretary. And intense argument was going on. They were like, March past points should not be considered since the evaluation pattern is wrong. We are winning the GC. We were like, if March past is not considered, then why do March past? It's basically a waste of time. And the Gandhinagar, so the Delhi sports officer gave an idea. Okay, let's not fight. Let's do one thing. Let's announce joint winners. Let sport be the winner. And Kharagpur were like, we are okay. We are winning GC, somehow we are okay. I went and that time it kind of got to me. I lost my shit and I told him, if you're going to announce joint winners, then not even a single person from IIT Madras will attend this closing ceremony. We are boycotting it. Yeah, the situation got kind of heated and everything, but in the end, what they decided was we'll have a vote. Let people vote whether we're going to give joint winners or Madras is going to be the winner. And it was, since all of the IITs hated us, Rudra and everyone were like, if we are going to voting, we are not winning the vote. And I was also, like kind of sad since voting was happening, and voting happened, but most of the North Indian IITs voted for Kharagpur. And in the end, but some helped us too. Roorkee helped us, Goa voted for us, and in the end we were less with 3 votes. So we were losing, but I think this was a very cinematic moment. And currently Raju sir calls up someone and 3 people appear from nowhere. When they were about to announce that it's going to be joint winners, Palakkad, Tirupati and Hyderabad come and they vote for Madras. I get so excited. I just give a high five to the Palakkad sports officer, and the Palakkad sports officer is like, bro, we are neighbors. So it was a very wholesome moment, and then, but the thing is, still the votes got tied. So votes got tied, and then the Gandhinagar chief organizer decided, okay, since the votes are also tied, I'm going to take a decision. We are hosted for the first time, but we have followed a particular pattern which is fair in our opinion. We are going to stick with it. Madras will be decided as the winner.